Dun, dun. Good evening, Club Cult. Welcome to Stream the Dreams Project. Oh, I was hoping the emotes would blurp up with my hands. We can imagine that they did. It's a speculative thing. Do I have them to go across my whole screen? Now that I think about it. Where would that source be? I never delete like any of my sources, so there's so many that have just like random goofy doofy names. It has to be over the camera. There. And then I post to technically. It's just choose your own adventure, I suppose. Gunther, you're a little crunchy munchy king. I love that for you. Pull us out of purgatory. Hop into Discord right quick. Even placing this book right in front of my monitor. I still forgot it last night. It's an incredible existence that I have in this world. Discord has overtaken me. Welcome roaming. If you guys happen to the Disky Boo, please do not forget to green check them. Their rules so that I can let you in offline. It is not magical. It is not a bot that just does the fairy magic stuff. I like pressing buttons. Don't take that away from me. Very few chances for whimsy in this world. Let me have mine. Let's pop in with Little Miss PB. We're gonna finish up Pippi's haircut tonight. And then look at Pupper Duppers. We're gonna have a little bit of an early night tonight because I want to get there like right when they open tomorrow so I can stay on my routine as much as possible because the boys have dentals Thursday. I always get so nervous. But it's going to be okay. And technically Gunther will, well, both Voy and Gunther will get a checkup too, but I'm very curious what Gunther's blood work is going to be. See if we can find a boyfriend for Pippi. She doesn't find a pupper that she loves, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be a little sad because I don't like walking out empty-handed. Makes me feel like I'm failing at life. But this is all about her for this one. I have no say in it. Get our go cam going. Tank test. Testing, 1, 2, tank. Tank was being so playful today. It was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see. Whee! Of course, I booby-trapped that into the corner. Everything is charged tonight. We should be good to go tonight. I don't want to be cold. Okay, that's not stripped from yesterday. I thought maybe it would be. Good. Good, good, good. I'll use audio for a sec while I flip us over. Pause the music. He doesn't like it. He likes to be in his peace and quiet zone. And respect. Respect to the boy. Oh, the light. Let's set this down over here. I don't understand. Some things I plug into here and it just turns on the battery pack. Then other things I have to manually toggle it on. Well, that's bright. Good lord. I'll come back for my coffee if I want it. Baby PB, coming to smooch on you. Really need to change my computer background. Boy, always watching is haunting me. It's funny until you stare at it for too long. Aw, kitten slop car, snuggling in the chair in my linen pile, but they're snuggling cute. It's so snuggling cute. Are you making biscuits at the door? Well, hello, Tiny. Hello, Tiny. She says biscuits. Biscuit o'clock. Biscuits o'clock. How you doing tonight, Floofer? Oh. You doing good? You freaked me out last night. You feeling good today? I think so. She's such a rumble. The rumbler. The rumbler. I love you so much, peeps. I took a nap with you earlier. You were so cuddly. Cuddly and cozy and toasty. And you laid on my phone and my alarm went off because I snoozed it. And you got scared and I'm sorry for that. It spooked her. It spooked her so big. What happened with your cartoons? Mom didn't put them back on. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Get your working out, wombats. I really thought this would be like a shuffle of shows. But it's just one, but she likes it. So it works for me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It's amazing how fast theme songs creep into your mind. BB, we're gonna be in charge for a sec while I get your mleko. Milk. The thirsties? It's on your head. I had the piece of litter on your head. Don't do that. Ah, Slovenia. Peebee, my love. You are so cute. Say, shut up. Shut up, Mom. We know this. Everyone knows this. The whole world knows this. It's been shouted from the rooftops. Hold on, Cindy. Can you get Mom? Hello, my fluky princess. Oh, there's exactly 6 left in here. Go finish your cup. Bless you. It's her new scare mom tactic of the day is random sneezes. Don't know what we're having sneezes for. Well, you have a floof on your face. How about don't eat that? Kids. Oh, Miss Peeves. You're a silly gooseroni. You're a silly gooseroni. Do you want? I would think so. Oh, no. That did not just break, did it? Maybe. I think it's fine. It's probably the last use, though. Yummy. There's one. Now it's broken. Hold on, Beebs. I gotta get a different syringe. This one broke. It broke. Okay, monkey. My bad. It's ours. Us ours. Okay, redo. I know. You feel like that was a prank. It was not a prank. It was a well-intentioned mom. She doesn't know her name, but she knows this sound. Should we call her Crystal? Sounds like a stripper name. Can't give you a stripper name. You're living the lavish life now. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Don't chew on it, don't you? I'm giving it as fast as it's mindful to. You silly goose. I get 5 out of this? Maybe 4. Oh, he's a good girl. Yummy. Good job. I think that's 4. Good job. You're so cute and silly. Probably got like 5.5. Yummy. About 5.5. you go. Good job. You got your probiotics in you. Excellence. Put this back, or put it in the sink. Put it back in the fridge. It's empty. Easy, girl. Little baby goose. Where have you skirped all your toys off to? Did you hoard them all in one corner again? You might have. There's 2, 5 of them under, 6, 7 of them under here, baby. Jeez Louise. 2 from over, 2 from there, and then 4 more. My golly. You really do hoard them everywhere. Say more under here. No, you had Mouse Toy earlier. Where did Mouse Toy go? Mouse Toy is behind the chair. She is so silly. Mouse Toy! Oh my goodness. You are so cute and silly. Bloop. At some point this week, I want to get her one of those cubes like Stripes and Nibbler and Daisy had. Or a little baby bean. Maybe a little tunnel again. But tunnel plus shitting doesn't generally mean good stuff. Gets destroyed in an interesting way. Boop. You're such a good girl. Mouse, you gonna run away? You gonna run away? She doesn't know if she wants Lover to play right now. She kind of likes both at the same time, like Tank. You know, it's an outdoor kitty thing. Charlie's like that too. Not Voya though. If you love on Voya while he's playing, you become the toy. Then it becomes wrestling hour. Kitty WWE. This is such a half-ass slow stalk. You are so cute and silly. Oh, are you a little boxer? Are you a boxer cat? That seems to be the theme the last 24 hours. Are you a boxer? Pew, pew. Yeah, work on that left hook. Work on that left hook. It's a good left hook. You'll be fighting champion. You'll be a champion. You gotta work on your perception skills. You are so funny. Now you're getting into it. You're so a little bit so furious. Get him. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Tack, tack. Tack, tack. Oh, you're so smart. You went, but kind of. You tried to go back around. Then you overthought it. Don't overthink it. Your first answer is probably the closest to the right answer. Did you lose your balance? You got it. You got it. You don't have very good coordination in that way. You don't have very strong back legs. Are you sore? She's always kind of favored one leg from the start. I honestly don't remember which one, because that wasn't really the most important thing that was going on. Probably not a big deal, probably just something congenital. He came out of mom funny. But she probably didn't have a good chance to build a lot more muscle in her back legs than her front legs. With the situation you were in when I rescued you. You see you do that again. I want to see you walk. I want to see you walk. And then I want to see you play up again. Then we gotta finish Pippi's haircut. You get your sister looking all cute to meet her new mans tomorrow. Maybe. She's picky. She has high standards. Seems like when she's flat, like on her hock, or whatever that part would actually be, she can keep her balance, but stretching all the way up, she doesn't have like the full extension of strength. We haven't played with just a handheld toy like this yet. Usually it's the string. The ends on a log string. You looked so tall to me the other day. Now you look nubby again. Poor kid. I wish you had a better start to life. But you get to be a little boxer now. You get to do all those things now. Yes, you do. I am so glad you're here, Petey. I'm so relieved that she survived. Like, the first 72 hours were so touch and go. Kittens are so fragile. You're so fragile. That's why I freak out over every little thing that you do and that goes wrong with you. Because you're so fragile. Boop. 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 Ba-doop-ba-doop. Boop. 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 So furious. So furious. So furious. She named me Furio. You're gonna break Mousy's tail. Keep going for his tail instead of his bod. His butt's gonna fall off. Isn't that good? Now it's gonna you gonna bite your belly. Boop. You threw it under the dresser. Goober. What's that one? What's that one? What's that one? Oh. Go get it. It rolled away. You gotta go get it. No? You're being sensitive about that. Come here. Let me see you move. Let me see you walk by one more time. Pretty woman walking down the street, little Petey come across the blanket beam. Say, no, Mom, I wanna lay down. Don't you know mouse toys in town? Do 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 do. Pretty baby, you are so dang cute. You do a little boot scoot. I feel like she's walking awkwardly on her back legs. Then she does that and acts like she's fine. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. There's really no reason for that to be happening. Like out of nowhere. Maybe I just haven't noticed that about you before. Maybe now that she's getting healthier and stronger, I'm nitpicking all the little things that were going on with her before that I didn't really notice because there are way more things important in the moment. Let's get you some more food. Fill up your wall. Then finish making Pippi all smooth as silky. Really silky. Oh, hello, sister. Can I have one more smooch? Probably not right now because you're going crazy. You are such a baby goose. I love you. Say, Mom, I'm playing. Leave me alone. Okay. I'll stop being annoying. Okay. Oh, I spilled milk on my shirt. I just got these shorts. Spilled your milk on them. Rude. Rude. Little Miss Ma'am, you are adorable. She's beyond adorable. I love her so much. So much. You are a good and sweet little princess. Yes, you is, babies. And Pippi. Welcome you down to the show now. I gotta put these boxes out for recycle. I forgot to not get done today. Little taller tripod. There you go. think the first or second one was Slavka's box. And they got filled with all the other boxes. Iggy got his canned delivery today. Purina. So fancy, so official. So fancy. Pippi so cozy. Little dreamer. I'm gonna grab my hair clip and my coffee. Put on some music. Kid ditched Slavka to be with Miss Lloyd. Pippi, it is your time to shine. Oh, snap. Thank you so much, Black Fedora, for the gifted. You are sweet and wonderful and fantastical. I hope the night is wonderful for you so far. And thank you for supporting the Stream the Dreams project. You're too kind. Too kind. Too kind. And get some music on. Welcome, Midnight Dynamite. Welcome. Oh, I want the covers playlist. I want to pretend I'm listening to real music. How was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here? Oh, baby, I should put my socks on, open my socks. Look, slippers. No one wants to go where they can get Sibby Floof. No, no. They're like lined with mesh insulation. That's why I think they're snow pants. They're not snow pants, but like snowboarding pants. Back into the Floof uniform. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. Because it's killing me. I must confess, still believes me. Oh, I need a coil Earl for that fucker. Here it is in big box. I still believe. You don't have an iron? Serena. I do want my finicators though. I'll take it to the iron. Let's go to my big box in the dog room. I need oil. When I wake up, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I go out, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And if I get wrong, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man I need proof that if this is my demise, that I actually was that stupid. Taking you guys with me for this one. Such a good song. And I would walk 500 miles. Just pausing it for a moment. Taking you all with me to the closet of chaos. There are more chaotic closets in my house, but this one is up there. Just like my big box is up there. And all of Clyde's stuff in the corner. His little wheel. Oops. There's grooming smocks. We were leaving, well, I guess we could put one on her tail, but if we were leaving Pibby with long ears, we could have put bows in her hair. But I suppose not. Oh, I didn't remember that my name was on this box. Oops. Stupid fucking read. Why don't I just throw this away? It came with the house. I've never used it in my life. Like the closet in Zabulafoo, where everything falls down on you. It's so heavy. So heavy. I gotta kick you guys forward. No offense meant by it. Okay. We made it into the box. We made it into the box. Somewhere in here is clipper oil. So much random grooming stuff. Feather hair extensions. I put those in my hair too. Cotton balls. The sign used to be up. It's probably floating somewhere in the bottom of something. That's probably why my scissors have rusted, is because they're not in the little pieces. Didn't want to take everything off here because there's nothing in that. That's a light bag. Hello, puppies. Good feelings. There's Earl. And it's empty. No! So I don't grab it twice. I have a bunch of these. Not a bunch, but more than one. Babe. Wait, I have a big bottle of it. Could it be in here? Or did I stake it out there? Hold on. So it's not for you. It's not for you. It's not for you. No, so it has to be in here. Ah. That's fun. Viva! Move! I'm walking. I'm walking. Okay. My school book. Oh. What do I even have in here? My cheat sheet for clipper measurements. I guess that's how PB would be called the Hawk, at least if PB was a dog. There's a big thing of this somewhere. I know there is. There's so many Christmas bandanas left over. My baby boy. I don't want to take everything out of here. Maybe I put it, there it is. I thought maybe I put it with my tools for a second, but there's the Earl. Oop, it's splooged. I didn't mean to make it splooge. Ringo, do you want a haircut too? Do you want feather extensions? Ringo's hair is long enough to where we could do feather extensions probably. I think this is like a tool attachment for a vacuum cleaner, but it worked perfect for my old grooming setup, like to put scissors and stuff in. Slavka, don't go in the forbidden closet. It's not for Slavkas. It's not for Slavkas. Okay. Now, you go back into the closet of doom. Whoop. Whoop. Hey! All I did was drop something. You're good. Chill. Easy. It's okay. Ringo's on high alert because he made friends with a runaway husky earlier. I was outside with them and I heard a dog whining. And it didn't sound like it was whining behind a fence. Like you can hear the bufferedness. All of my neighbors have fences that go like this, and my fence has pieces open in between. So I looked out where Ringo was barking because he was alerting. And there was a husky right in my alley. I made friends with him for a minute, and then his parents came out, and I met his parents, and it was fun times. It's like, oh my god. The dogs always find me. They always find me. I can scoop this up because, wow, that wreath really just needs to be thrown away. That's toxic. No, I'm pretty sure Slav got booped around in here and I find her. She's crazy. We love her, but she's crazy. Nope. You curious little cat. Curious little cat. Okay, I kicked my slipper somewhere. To where? And just, oh no, Slav is okay. Right there it is. Good girl. Should not incite chaos, violence, and mayhem. I'm proud. I'm a proud mama. You guys are gonna carry the oil for me until I drop it. Scoots. I love you. Silly baboop. You silly baboop. Baboop, baboop, baboop. We both probably need oil, honestly. That's kind of like very amazing after all these years. You have to oil them differently. That one has to be off, it's disconnected. This one needs to be on, moving. This used to scare me so much. Like irrational fear. You're putting your hand over a blade generally is not smart, you know? Now it's an easy grab spot. Gibby, you're up, sis. She said, but I'm sleepy, Mom. I know. You gotta look handsome. Meet the boys tomorrow. You do. I'm gonna grab the red brush from the boys' room. Oh, that would have been bad. I don't know where the red brush is. I don't need it. I just preferred it. Preferred it. I don't need straights. I probably just want my offset, but just in case, Ms. Lady Ma'am. Hope everyone's having a good night so far and not getting a haircut against your will, like Sydney. Hey, Sissy. It's up time. It's up time. Brilliant. Get up. You take your jammies and your harness off. I'm okay with the new one, but I really am irritated that they like shoot out of the front part being Velcro. But then, how stupid is this? I mean, like, yes, service dogs are trained to like listen, so you don't have a pulling dog, and it doesn't really matter. But the front is Velcro, but then they added a lock to the clip on the belly. It's like, why would you cheap out somewhere but make it extra secure somewhere else? Weird. I liked her old harness more. But my dad's borrowing it for his cat right now. You gotta get up. You gotta take your jammies up and finish your haircut. We do. Whoa! You lost your legs there, girl. There you go. Ninja baby. Gotta pick out a cute sweater for you to wear tomorrow to meet your new mans. If you decide you want to new mans. I got you. Don't freak out. I can just turn you. I don't think we need the side of the table, truly. Your dad got a haircut, but not against his will. Which hair did you get cut? Which hair? Specifically, need to know. Was it this one? I'm glad to hear. It is a good evening over here. Had some kitten time. Now we get some puppy time, and then we're gonna pull up doggy Tinder when we get back to the main space. Leaves brown, sky is gray. Want just enough hair out of my face that I'm not cutting my hair while I'm cutting her hair, because I've done that before. Oh, you're so soft after your bath. You're okay. She's overstimulated right now. She's doing the shakes. It's okay. It's quick room round. Speed round. Into your feet. There you go. Keep your balance a little more this way. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. No more Grinch feet. Oh, hair all over the dog bed. Snoop. This is what my father says. One thing my boss always tried to instill in me that I never picked up on is to move the dog and like your table and your equipment more than yourself, so you're not like bending over goofy like I am. And I've never quite caught on to that. Try and trim your toes a little more. Couldn't see through all your flute to make sure you didn't get too sore before. See this one? There you go. Did you guys? And you gotta see your duty claw. When Ringo was neutered, he had his back to claws removed, and in hindsight, I will never do that again. Rear dew claws are a pain in the ass, and they get stuck in things when they get ripped out, and it's a vet visit and a whole issue, and very frustrating. But him recovering from it was insane. He could get to the bandages around every single freaking cone. It was ridiculous. It was the most annoying hands-on recovery ever. I never want to do it again. They did one really weird nail. It like grows out straight, and I don't think it has a quick anymore. I think it's just a dead nail. How far can you go with it? I don't go any further than that. That's worrisome. The quick part is just hollow. You're so dainty. Yeah, I'm just happy. She does like princess paws to the max. It goes so limp about it. But it's so difficult to do. He did the baby. Almost. Some more. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me see. I don't think we went too short. Oh, that one's crap. I'm sorry. Wait, let me smooth it out just a little. There we go. Slavka, do you want a haircut too? I'm sorry, sis. You're okay. Slavka wants a haircut too. My deaf Siamese used to always hang out when I was grooming. Come up and rub around on the dogs and try and rub up on the clippers, and oh, it was so cute. He was such a sweet guy. Hi, big girl. What perfect ears. Tickly. Tickly toes. Tickly toes. You need your butt. Big old booty. And your cute little tummy too. It's okay. I just gotta be able to have a better angle on you. There we go. These are good little mamas. There you go, sweet girl. Go, baby mama. Little sniffle poof. Can I do a big brush? Oh, it's up here. Ready, girlfriend? I just gotta smooth you out. Just a quick once over. Real cute and smoothly silky. Blend your tail a little bit more. Get the most of the financials. Good. Good girl. She's such a good little lady. Such a good little pepper. It didn't feel good. You're getting a little happy. I find it really interesting after having her in a pattern on and off for so many years. She still has the Naxal pattern lines where you go straight across and then dip down from here. You might just hand those across for the most part. For this little princess paw. It'll be quick once over. It's a quick little one and done. One and done. One and done. And now you're a liar. It's like a 5 and done. Don't stop on brush for you. Good girl. You're such a good diva. Skippy's thug song. I don't think your mind is gone. I think you're beautiful and wonderful and perfect. Go over your chest with the 9. Oh, you're so cute and smoothie. And blend. And blend. I thought this was Shake it up, Chippy. Shake it up. Shake it up. She goes very fast. She just got a rough shave the other night. But instead of like huge clumps of hair. We have just little. That's the length of hair that I'm shaving off of her. It's the tiniest little pieces. Just gotta clean her up. Get her pristine. Whereas Christina, she's gonna get it. Because she doesn't get a perfect haircut. She's 15 years old. She doesn't have enough, like, muscle mass for everything to sit properly anymore. Oops. Double oops. I don't know what else to prefer some Weird Al. Wonder if there is anyone out there who does Weird Al covers. Look at the other side, he says. Okay, just turn around. Maybe butt cam. But she got a really cute little floopy tail. But I can excuse it. Wonder how fast dogs do grow hair. Like, compared to us. I think our hair grows like a centimeter a month or something. Probably your mileage may vary, but a rough estimate. You know, put your head up, babe. Did not be used to stretch your skin like that. You're getting old, sissy. Stop it. You gotta stay forever young. You gotta be my baby forever. My first dog. And it starts chirping. It needs oil. It's okay. Again, there it says. Really good rub. Good rub. It's so good, Mama. Good little Pooh Bear. Get the bellies. Gotta get the bellies. Little smoothie silky lady. Yeah, with the scissors. You gotta do it. I know you don't want to do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to. I know. I know. I know. It's okay. We're just holding hands. We're just holding hands. We're just holding hands. That's all. It's okay. Holding hands and skipping through the park. Okay. So all the clipper work for this one. Oh yeah, finish back up. This is mildly a nails on chalkboard sound. Mine for you. Not like as bad, but it's close. Oh, did I put the broom back in the boys' room? I think I did. Here you go, sis. Gotta get the broom. Without tracking floof all over the rooms. The broom. We need the broom. Probably varies from dog to dog. Oh, definitely. Wire hair dogs, their hair grows slower. With mine, I do the deal of every time they get their next 3-year rabies shot, they're contracted in for the next 3 years. Nothing can happen. You have to stay with me. And then another 3-year contract, and then another 3-year contract, and then another 3-year contract. And then we're all together forever. Stay. You've been right here with me, Pippi. Had Pippi since the last day of my senior year of high school. She's my first dog. My first doggie. I waited 18 years for you, Pippi. And it was worth it. I wanted a dog so bad when I was growing up. I used to like check out books from the library about like taking care of dogs, learning about dogs. Like show it to my dad all sly, like I'm learning, I know what I'm doing. You know, my dad was right about one thing. I don't like cleaning the yard. But do I do it? Yes. I did it today actually. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sweeping was right in front of the heat vent and then wondering why it's flying everywhere. Genius. Alright, sissy girl. We'll do your face last. Let's set your feet first. You're gonna get more tight on your back legs first. Actually, let's blend your tail first. This is like an out of control fear. I wonder if with age she carries her tail lower. Well, you got a cute little bunny butt. Although I kind of took away the hair we can use for a bow, but it's okay. We don't always need a ribbon tied, but. Hold on. You're gonna see uppy toes. Uppy toes. Perfect little round toes. We have length, but we're gonna do kind of like a teddy bear trim because too perfect doesn't work for you anymore. Into the butt cowlick. How's the stab? Dry. There you go, beautiful. Get your little cover. You gotta adjust your stance a little for that one. Seguimos siempre la pasión y confiamos solo en el amor. Yo quiero ver lo que queda. Y más allá. A través de la gran oscuridad hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá. A través de la gran oscuridad. Oh, Pippi, you're so cute. You gonna turn your little tummy. It's what it is. Oh, it's a beautiful girl. Patrick's is going hard on dreams tonight, and I will not complain about that. Yeah, it's a covers playlist. Royalty free. You gonna see this video? You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful, baby. Like, if I'm so beautiful, then why do I need a haircut, Mom? Because otherwise you'll turn into a sheep that needs to be shorn, and then you'll be matted. Do you want to be a matador when you grow up? No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Don't put your face in the scissors. I got my first real six string. Yeah. It's the summer of '69. We're trying real hard. It's okay. It's okay. I got to touch your princess paws. Raise it to baby. You just gotta round it out. Hold on. You moved the hair. Yeah. What do you have cowlick ears? You have to trim it upwards and then trim it downwards. Because regardless of which way you go, there's a hair sticking out. You get it mostly the same length by back combing it. And just finish it up with a forward comb. You're so cute and beautiful. Yes, you are. It's okay, it's okay. I gotta touch the leggings. He says, no, you don't. I say, yes, I do. Yes, I do. That baffles me, like, how just a tiny bit of hair can make a huge difference. That's all I just cut off for you to make it perfectly straight. Less is more. Got one scraggly bit over here. In your little armpit. Can't have scraggly armpits. This is America, not France. I don't know, this song is weird. We like those legs. I think those are good if they're gonna get legs. I'm not gonna torture you to be beautiful. We seem to go nowhere. I can't sleep at night. So empty, you don't need doggy butt cam. Blurk, blurk, blurk. That's you. Run away, I've got to get away. There we go. The favorite things to watch. The bad birds get gored by wolves. It's actually a horrible sport because they tie something. I don't know exactly what they do, but they tie something in their genital region, and that's why they run so psycho crazy because it's having their junk squeezed. I've never seen one of those demonstrations, but I'm aware of how it goes together, and I have big feelings on many rodeo sports, but that's one that I strongly dislike. It's not necessary. I do enjoy the precision of rodeo sports, though. One day I'd love to learn how to barrel race. Not to compete, just to do it. I can't hold your toes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. Get about, let go. Now I remember you. Give me some love, you're beautiful. Another thing that really bothers me in Western sports is like the lack of wearing a helmet. Seen as like not manly or not cowboyish, depending on your gender. Not cowboy or cowgirlish. But in reality, it's just simply a safety precaution. Like there's no bragging about having 5 concussions, because when you've had 5 concussions, you have a traumatic brain injury, and then you can't remember even to brag about having 5 concussions. It's counterproductive. I feel like now we're going even further back than the 80s. The 70s song, isn't it? Aerosmith? The one broke hair is bothering me. I'm sorry. There. In the mirror. It's okay, it's okay, I know. She's ready to sit. We're almost there, then you can sit down, Mama. Sorry. I say this every haircut as she gets older, but I need to be better about maintaining it as she goes, so it's just a short little trim like every couple of weeks instead of a shave down like every couple of months or quarterly, depending on the weather. I really need to get better about that now that she's really getting older. $73. Ooh, 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 baby. It's the true definition of fuck around and find out. We have sports like roping that show precision. We don't need stuff like that. Singing full of shivers. Only $3 for me. See, I had the cute little rabbit tail going on, though. It's always the most difficult spot. It's awkward. You can't go through her. Gotta go around her. Dream the Dreams Project plug. Dream on, dream on, dream on. Still got some funkies on this side. Oh, you're so cute. Perfect little princess paws. My little Biba. Let's get your tummy and your tuck up. Got most of your tummy from the other side. We just gotta blend it. I feel like we left your tuck up rather long on this side. I need to trim it much, just neaten it up. I cut this side too short. We can trim up the other side more. There we go. Bye-bye. One more leg, and then just your face, and we're done. I know. You're having so much fun with all of us. You get to go meet some mans tomorrow. You love the boys. You do. You're a sleuth. You get to go see peoples. Everyone's going to say, oh, what a cute little girl. It's not guaranteed that they'll have time for a meet and greet tomorrow, but I'm really hoping, especially if I get there on time. They open at noon, and they're open till 7, but they stop adoptions at 6, so there's time to finalize the paperwork for like the last hour. So I want to try and get there by like 12:30 at the latest. We got a bunch of people over here, sissy. Because I don't like your Brett Legacy's done. He's silly. Welcome, John. Hope you're having a lovely night so far. Are you next in line for a haircut? If he's working up an appetite, she's gonna want some chop suey after this. I gotta see where that goes, sissy. I just do. It's the rules. It's the rules of the road. The rules of the road. There's this thing where she just doesn't let me see anymore when she's done with it. She says, Mom, if I put my head in the way of everything, then you can't do any more. Yay, I'm glad to hear. Thank you. Yeah, puppy time. Can't be a bad time. Always a good time with puppy time. Oh, I totally forgot because I put it in my notebook. Safety. I have the original color copy, but when I stopped at my vet last week, they had a copy of Chauncey's adoption paper too. You make sure I don't put any of my information on there. What is all of me? Have you forsaken me? Chauncey's little adoption paper. It's so cute. It's so cute. I have Gunther's and backups too. Oh, wait. This one said he was 3. I thought he was 4 when I adopted him. Oops. I put it in my head somehow the whole time I had him that he was 4 when I adopted him. Okay. He was 9, not 10. Did you enjoy your little break, Piggy? I know. I'm sorry, girlfriend. It's a bit of a counter leg. Like counter strike. Hold on. You're too old to be bouncing both legs, girl. Hold on a second. Almost done with the inside here. Need a couple of fluffies. Almost. Almost. Maybe he was approximately 4. He was adopted a few months before I adopted him and then returned. So maybe that was just off of his original intake because he was adopted in like the summer-ish of... No, he was adopted in October of 2019. And then he was returned in December of 2019. And I adopted him in January of 2020. So maybe by then they considered him 4. But his original paperwork probably wasn't updated because he was returned just a few months after that he was adopted at first. I actually found his first adoption picture on Facebook. Like, I don't have Facebook, but you can scroll through, not like people's profiles, I don't think anymore, but through like public page profiles. So 5 times fast. And I don't judge on appearances, but there's a picture of the guy that adopted him for his family or whatever, and it just did not look like a very friendly guy. can understand why Chauncey ended up with the nomad tag. I don't know if I would want to be nice to that guy. He had like a straight, like he didn't even look happy to be adopting him. There's a picture of him like straight face. And I get it. Some people don't like to smile, but you're adopting a dog. How, even if you don't like to smile, how are you not like... My dad's not a big smiler. He's usually very straight face. But every moment around Daisy, he's like just a little giddy, like you can see it in his eyes. My dad is not a highly emotionally expressive person. Like, if he can do it, other people can too. I feel like that was probably one of those situations where like the wife or the kids talks dad into it, but then dad doesn't actually want it. Does that mean a year younger and therefore an additional year with you? No. It just means he was a year younger. We had 6 years together because I adopted him in 2020. And his adoptiversary was January 7th. And he made it until February 14th. So forever my Valentine. We had 6 years together, but I thought he was going to be 10 this year. And he was going to be 9 this year. I wish I could have had all the years with him. Chauncey is the pet I had the longest, though. I had Loki, and she was 4 before she completely fell apart. And then I had Snoop, who I adopted when he was like 11 or 12, and he was a big dog. So like that's old for a big dog. I had him for 2 years, and then he ended up having spleen cancer. And then I had my dog Backup, who I adopted at like age 7, from CACC as well. And I had him for about 2.5 years before he had bone cancer. Cancer is very common in pits. Skin issues, skin cancer, but like dermatitis, like just itchy skin allergies, and skin cancer because they have shorter hair, thinner skin. And just cancer in general is common in pits, probably because they're so overbred. The gene pool is not good for them. So grateful that Snoop got to live out his senior years with me. Yeah, I feel like even if you're not like a natural emoter, because I'm like, for everything, I have big feelings. Like, you're adopting a dog. You should be like, there should at least be a smile in your eyes, okay? Tyra Banks taught us to smize. Thank you very much. Expressive. I know, right? You can't help but smile being around them. They're just God's little perfect idiots. And we love them. It's blue steel. It's interesting. Your Avion kick? I don't think it comes through on here. Yeah, it does. I just don't have my glasses on. Because I'm looking at chat through Restream, not on Kick. Alright, this leg is just going to be a little crookedy. I'm going to stop nitpicking over it now. Getting my bibs. Alright, your face is already perfect, but we just got to make it a little bit more perfect. Your face is perfect because you're you. But we got to trim it up just a little bit more. Blend in your bangs. Make your ears all neat and tidy. And then she'll be ready to meet her new man. Maybe the hot blonde. Hot blonde. Oh, this hair is driving me nuts. There's a little cowlick right here. I keep thinking I get it, and then it sticks out more. That one. Okay. Now I'm over it. Whether I want to be or not, I'm over it. Coffee break. I love you, Mommy. You look so good. And this is the most effort I put into your haircuts in probably the last year. She's gotten like basic, good save, basic, mostly even shave downs. Because we don't care about being perfect in this house. Misty looking so dapper. You're just little bean. Alright, you can sit down now if you want to. We need some room and space for that. Snow has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye. 1924. It's okay. Don't say goodbye. No. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, you had a teardrop. It's okay. You're such a good girl. Thank you, Mommy. One more side. One more. She is such a good puppy. She's the best girl. She's perfect. Just get a little taller for ears. There you go. Hello, monster. I'm gonna get your ears even. Or your little curlies that came out from your back. You got a mole over there, you're gonna be careful. I think she likes her hair short. It's probably more comfortable after walking around like an Ewok for like 2 months straight. She's 15 years old and she looks so much older when her hair is long. But I feel like she goes back to baby mode when it's all short. She looks so much younger. You got tickly ears? Her ears are ticklish. They're tickly ears. Tickly, tickly. You can sit if you want to, Mommy. You don't have to stand.
Hey. Whoa. Hey. Hey. Yeah. I'm making a cheese today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away.
That's your perfect little lammy ears. Pibby is so soft. I wish you guys could pet her. Well, if you see me at conventions this year, you can pet Pibby, and then you can report back how soft she is. But she's like a little lamb. My niece and nephew were little, they would just go like this with their ears, like while watching TV. She's so soft and lammy. She's so lammy. She gets a boost. Not weighed down by all that hair. She can move with the nitrous of Pippi again.
Well, so all I did was rest, okay? And Louis all I did was stretch, okay? And Valentine's Day I had sex, okay? We'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay? Okay, we'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay? Okay, we'll see what's about to happen. Hey, hey, we'll see what's about to happen.
There you go, sweet mama.
Hey, we'll see what's about to happen. I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a bus where the owners do. What bosses are rolling.
We gotta get the football.
But I told you the truth.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah, I don't know where I got one in the day.
Oh, you're so cute. Those crispy little ears. I love. Thank you. I was a dog groomer for many years. I don't really do it really professionally anymore. Still do like family dogs and whatnot, and my dog obviously, but I enjoy it. It's just kind of a toxic environment, honestly. And like I'm trained, but I prefer it as a hobby. Easy. There's a couple of chin hairs. Your chinny chin chin. And I'll thin out your brows.
The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a bus where the owners do. Bosses are rolling, I've grown into. I love you to death, but I told you the truth.
It's so funny. She still winks the eye that she doesn't have when I'm near her with scissors. So like two parts of her that are kind of difficult and make her look older is she gets older and I shave her down, which is the bone protrusion here because she's thinner, and then on her hips it's never even because her little hippie bones. She's not skinny. She just doesn't have all of her muscle mass anymore. You're cute and perfect. I think we're all done. She loves the attention. She's the prettiest girl. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Pretty little lady. I vacuum up for you here. I'm gonna mute this because it's loud. Loud vacuum. Who doesn't come in here for that? You don't want to make the washing machine work any harder to clean my socks than it needs to. Clog up the lint trap. It's not bad. It's way easier to clean up the hair from just grooming one dog than like 5 dogs at once. When you can't even see the floor, that's when it's extreme. Put my fluffy clothes over here. Whoops! And punch the bugs after. You did it! You did so good! Put your collar back on. I'm Jack's face is the wrong way. Not wrong or right, I just like it over there. Put on my slip leg. Baby, you're such a good girl. You did so good. You are excellence. You are beauty. You are grace. You are everything. It's amazing. Gonna run around and rub around everywhere now. Boop boop. Whee! And she's on the move. She's gonna be on the move. Vacuum robots are good, but they're not good for like big clumps of things. I have a couple of them, but they're only good for like just maintenance cleaning. Like I'll use them in between vacuuming days. Shop vac is best. Having an assistant to run my shop vac would be even better. These roly poly oly. These roly poly oly. Oh, she's gonna go swimming. I think like 3 or 4 years ago, I bought one and then I liked it, so I bought another one. There's one that runs in the stream room upstairs and then downstairs. But delicious. Hi, Floyd. Hello, Mama Bear. She's so silly. It's not like the Roomba, though. It's a knockoff. But it does good enough. I like it. Having pets, I don't want to have to vacuum every day. Every other day is enough. The other one can run just in between. You look so good, Pippi. I see like 3 hairs sticking out that we're just going to live with because we're not going to nitpick it. Oh, you have a fellow void. What is the baby's name? I must know. I must know. Her name is Boyd. Probably gonna end up being a foster fail, Mama. She had 3 babies back in September. She was a street kitty. And we found homes for all of them. But she's really bonding with me, and no one's been interested in adopting her, so we might end up keeping her. Did Pippi get too far in your face? It helps so much for daily maintenance. My life is fluffy. As the fluff just keeps moving in. Oh my goodness. Aw, Slavka wants to watch the Burb TV. She says, I'm gonna get that damn squirrel. He's as big as me on the big TV, but I'm gonna get him. Did you enjoy your roly-polies? You look so beautiful, Pippi. Are you ready to meet your new man? You pretty girl. Pretty baby girl. Aww. Little fellow street kitty. That's awesome. I'm jealous. This one, I failed to trap. She was too trap savvy. And I failed to trap her like, God, 3 or 4 times. She evaded it. And then she got knocked up for, I think, the third time. Because when I was trying to trap her, it was a couple of times that I thought she was pregnant. And my neighbor also takes care of them, and she walked right into her house. And my neighbor called me and was like, I got her. I'm jealous. Why didn't you just come into the trap? Why didn't you just walk into my house? You had to go over to her house, huh? You said this lady just opens doors. She doesn't set traps. You're such a lovely girl. Oh, that's awesome. A tiny handful. In terms of behavior, or he was just that cute and small, or both. Oh, sweet girl. You did so good. I'm so proud of you. Pippi has a cat too. Cutie, cutie, cutie. Cutie, 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 cutie. Oh, grab my coffee and stuff to bring back to the stream room. Hey, Miss Mamas. You guys just all follow me. You're silly. Dun, 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 dun. Aw, little wild baby friend. Little wild baby friend. I love the wild beans. Think about half of my house cats now are former street kitties. There's a surplus of them out here. Mr. Gunther, you're so cute. Aw, what a good boy. What a good little yearling. That's awesome. Flip us back over here. Oh, I still got fuzzy. I put on pants and I still got fuzzy. Still got fuzzy. Flip our music over to here. I gotta go tinky really quick and then we're going on doggy Tinder. How do I put you back to computer play? This computer. There. That button. The magic button. Da, 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 da. Oh, baby, you look so cute. You look so cute. Goodbye, phone. It was nice knowing you. Aww. You had to lure him out with kibbles. I know how that goes. What a little cutie butt. What a little cutie. "12 hatchlings? That would be a really big litter. Beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Pippi foof in my schnoot. Ah, it's a pleasant feeling. Aw, little wildling. It's such a rewarding feeling to see them come around and become like full-fledged house cats, though. My favorite part of rescue is the post-transformation. I feel so much pride of effort when I see them turn into normal cats again. Or for the first time in their lives, even, maybe. Aww, he bonded. He said, "This is my person. This is my people. This is my human. My human." It's the best feeling. I love that for you. Blurp, blurp. Time to find Pippi boyfriends. Actually, I'm gonna open this in a different thing. I have a crap ton of tabs in here. I filter by age. I don't think it matters what filter. It's not up to me, it's up to Pippi. Aw, Winterberry got adopted. It's wonderful. Must have happened today. Good, no nuts, no butts, no coconuts. Daria is a girl and she is 4. So we're looking for a boy who is 9, who is like 8 and up. 7 if they really want to cosplay as an old man. Because Pippi needs a sweet old sugar daddy. Draven is a year. Oh, he's really cute. His eyes are pretty. I don't think they have like any info about them, like good with dogs, cats, etc. That'll be on their sheet inside. He's really cute. He's too young though. Darlinette, she's pretty. Cocktails is a girl. Hallelujah. Oh, she's really pretty. She's really pretty. Aww, a little pupper coming into your family soon. Have you looked on Pet Finder? I saw a video about him on Instagram. He kind of caught my eye a little bit. He seems a little high energy though. Check every few days. You'll know when you see. You'll feel it in your soul. Where was Home Fraz? There's Home Fraz. I thought he had like a little video of a doggy day out. Like that to me says big energy, which Chauncey still had energy. He was just very, in general, super calm, which Pippi really vibed with. But they aged together too. I mean, Pippi was 10, 11 when I adopted him. He's really cute. He looks a little gray in his brindle, though. Wonder if he is older. I'm surprised he didn't get adopted at the... There was a big adoption event on Saturday. With an off-site partner. So I think he's been rescue pulled? He got pulled by a rescue. Oh, yay! That was just a couple days ago. I wonder if his time was going to be up on Saturday if he didn't get adopted. Saturday was the 21st. He got pulled on the 22nd. Excuse me. They don't get the best pictures either. It's usually volunteers taking the pictures. It's not like they have a professional photographer up in there. He got pulled by a rescue. That's awesome. That makes me glad. Esmelda got adopted. Aw, Dixie. She's cute. I just can't have a girl dog. Have to have a boy dog. Because I have cats. There's a behavioral shot that you can only do for male dogs. Winterfell is like a black dog version of Chauncey. I feel like age unknown means at least 5 and up. Because they're probably trying to tell by the quality of their teeth. But teeth for dogs are just like people. Chauncey got his first dental exam last year when he was 8. And Pippi's had a dental like every single year. She has like 3 teeth left. She has horrible genetic dental health. Winterfell. He's kind of cute. He doesn't look great. He's probably not that old, but some dogs act old without... How do I open you entirely in a new tab? Okay, I'll just make a list then. Won't let me open you in a new tab. Even pressing control just takes me back to it. Okay, well then we're making a list. He does look healthy. As far as animal controls go, CACC does a really good job of giving their best to everyone. Like, obviously, if someone comes in skinny, you can't help them being skinny, but they do a really good job. They do a lot more than I feel like other animal controls are capable of doing, just because of the funding that they receive, which is phenomenal, and all of the community support also. They're able to really give their animal control dogs the best. Winterfell. He's cute. What's his ID tag? Every time I've gone in to adopt, they kind of want to know, like, who you're looking for first. But they do let you walk around. You can talk to any volunteer about what you're looking for. That's how I came across Chauncey. I was going in to see a dog named Gandhi, I think. A senior mastiff mix. And earlier that day... I didn't bring Pippi with me that time, but earlier that day, Gandhi had a meet and greet with another dog and kind of didn't do so well with it. Like, he didn't bite. He was a big dog. He was beautiful. He was a gorgeous dog. But his meet and greet didn't go so great. He was a little bit off-put by the other dog, so they were reluctant to just adopt him out without bringing Pippi in, too. And then they said, well, won't you consider Chauncey? And I got to meet him. They like to make sure everyone gets along. I'm not going to bring Diesel tomorrow because Diesel won't really be interacting with him much. But Pippi I'm going to bring because it's going to be Pippi's friend. I didn't bring Pippi the last time though because the time before that I brought her and there was a dog flu outbreak and she had to wait outside with my ex for like 5 hours. And I felt bad. Jackaroo has been adopted. He's really cute. Look at that tongue. That big old bacon tongue. I love bacon tongues. My tuxedo cat has a bacon tongue. I've never seen that with cats before. Oh, she's really cute, but she's a girl. Dinah, she's been adopted. Samika is a girly. Allie is a girly. Oh, she's so leggy. She's still growing into herself. She looks like she has boxer in her. Charity, she looks young. 8 months, yeah. Talia, 1 year and 6 months. She's been adopted. Aww. With an offside partner. Crimson, age unknown. He looks like a dapper gentleman. He has eyes that stare into your soul. Almost all of the dogs at Chicago Animal Care and Control are pit bulls. We have a lot of pits in Chicago. So many backyard breeders and just stupid people. They're overpopulated. We probably have as many pit bulls as we do feral cats. What was his name? Crimson. What's his ID? Crimson. A306657. Jewel. Oh, she's pretty. She looks older than 4. I think she's just skinny though, and that's her coloring. Hannah. Oh, I love her face. All of the dark. Honey Pot. What a cute name. Blackmouth Cur. I think that's a fancy way of saying a pit bull mix that we want to sound expensive. Otis. Age unknown. Otis has 2 different color eyes. He has angel eyes. He was found with a chip and a tag, and he was not claimed. Oh, Otis. Otis! You're going on the list. I'll fall in love with all the dogs. That's why this is up to Pippi. Like, that's gonna be her forever friend. He's so cute. He has a face that, I mean, they all do, but he especially has a face that says, adopt me and take me home. It's very sad. It has to be very emotionally confusing for dogs to be just abandoned like that. Chauncey was abandoned. His first owner was incarcerated, and he got left at the apartment complex or whatever it was, and another tenant ended up bringing him to Chicago Animal Care and Control. Obviously, he couldn't be claimed because his owner was incarcerated. He was owned Barn Owl. I like that name, and I love those ears. When one goes to the side and one is up. Welcome, Pyre. He is so happy. Amadeus. Oh, I love the big heads. I love big doofy dogs. Amadeus. Put him on the list. Won't be able to meet everyone tomorrow, well, I'll be able to walk by everyone's kennels and get an idea of, like, are you a wild, big energy, jumpy baby, or are you just a chill dude? And then I'll be able to filter down the list of, like, who Pippi can meet. A3 06829. And I try. And I try. He does kind of have that big head, either like Danny or Mastiffy. I bet he's a small guy, despite that big head, though, because look at the perspective of the gates behind him. Because that's about 4 foot high over there. He's a little guy with a big head. So that's what Chauncey was. Martin! Martin's just a little guy. Oh, he's gray. He looks old. Age unknown. American Bulldog mix. What was his name? Martin. I'll walk around. I'll say hi to everyone on my own. give some treats and love, and then filter down the list and ask if they have time for meet and greets. It's going to be a very long list. I want to be able to try and find the perfect little friend for Pippi that she could live out her senior years with. She's very lost now that Chauncey is gone. I've never seen her sad in my life, and she's been so sad. Martin's just a little guy. I've always liked having really big dogs, and Chauncey was the smallest dog I ever had. He was about 59 pounds. Besides Pippi. Pippi's obviously smaller. She's like 22 pounds. He's so cute. He looks gray. Can I make his picture bigger? He looks like he has a white stripe, but he looks like he has gray speckles too. His nose is dry. He's so cute and stout. He's very cute and stout. Aston. He looks just like Martin. Are they bonded? Where was Martin found? 8600 block South Champlain. They were found together. Maybe they're not bonded, but maybe someone was breeding. She kind of looks like them too. That's a different location though. Aston and Martin. They don't. They'll let you adopt bonded pairs of cats, but they don't let you do 2 dogs in the same day. I'm gonna write down Aston too, but if they're a bonded pair, I don't really want to separate them. Hopefully they'll be pulled by a rescue partner or be able to be adopted together, but like on separate days. That's how you can tell you're rescue people, is when you have all of the different kinds of dogs. You have one that's small and weird looking and unhinged, and one that's big and goofy and an absolute big love. I do wonder if they were a bonded pair. They're both males, so they couldn't have bred together, but maybe there was another female they found. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to presume I know anything about anyone's life. Oh, that's sad. Novak, he looks skinny. His picture kind of looks like Chauncey's picture. They do look like cousins. This one has more of like a pity head. He has more of the bulldoggy head. They look about the same age, though. Novak! He's got 2 different color eyes, too, I think. Or maybe it's just the angle. The sun could just be hitting him perfect over there. Novak! I do like that we're able to make, like, a long list here. Because it'll say on their papers, like, on their kennels, more information about them. Like, if they get along well with other dogs, if they get along well with cats, if they've cat tested them. They don't have the time or resource to cat test every dog. That face. The young puppy. So not who we're looking for, but this face. That face is so cute. It just... Satchel. Satchel looks like a really calm guy. He has Snoop eyes. He has the same eyes as my dog Snoop had. The exact. Get a picture of him. There's one of his face really close up. Oh, this one's blurry. He has the same eyes as Snoop. See if I can find a not blurry one. Welcome to Basket Joe Dirt. They are so cute. They're all so cute. Aw, shout out to Pippi and a poodle pattern. That was fun. There's backup. I think any Snoop pics would be further back. There we go. Same eyes. Like, the exact same. Exact. Perfectly exact. That's crazy. Oh, he's been adopted! Yay! He was adopted over the weekend. Aww. That makes me happy. I just got distracted by the Snoop eyes and didn't even see the little I had been adopted down here. Stan. Stan is a cutie. Stan looks pretty young, but you never know. Age is unknown. Stan. Then we can Stan. They could be cousins. Aw, Elio, you're cute. He's 7. I was thinking like 8 and 9 and up. But some dogs are particularly more sedentary than others. Pits are like orange cats. They're either like crazy or the most chill thing that ever existed. But we'll take a look at Elio and see what his energy level is like. I'm okay if they're still playful. They just can't just be like bouncy bonkeries. Pippi needs calm. Elio. Elio. I think that would be pronounced Elio. Bouffant. Oh, she's a cutie. Hanson. Hanson looks handsome. He's muscular. He's jacked. Look at that chest. He's a strong boy. He's a little gentleman. It's actually surprising, like, how many small pits there are. I'd always imagined they're, like, big, like 80 pounds and up. But, no, some are just little guys. Hanson. It's just a couple letters away from handsome. He does look a lot younger, like just his muscle mass particularly. I'm thinking he's energetic, but still worth stopping by and giving him a head pat. Francine, the Apple by Rescue. Chloe, like Kardashian. She's 7. She's been adopted. Aww. That's the kind of face I'm looking for, like, age-wise. She's graying out. That's what we're looking for here. Grissini. He looks like a young man, too. Looks like maybe 4 or 5 at oldest. He looks super young. He's cute, though. He's got really pretty eyes. Golden eyes. Trigger. How do you not love that face? He's cute. He's very cute. Little toddler, little 3-year-old. Monteverdi? Oh, he's a funny looking little guy. I like him. Gotta say hi to him. He looks younger. I'm not gonna write him down, but he's a name that I won't forget. Monteverdi. He looks on the younger side. He does look kind of... I am gonna write him down. He's a little bit grayed out. Or that's just his coloring. I don't know. What's his number? E307154. Frangelica. She's a cutie. Bongo. Bongo looks baby. So baby. There's no way that he's 4 or 5. He's baby. That's puppy head. He unfortunately, like, has that coloring and that pigment that makes it, and, like, kind of a funny face that makes it really hard to tell what his age might be. His chest looks like it's a little grayed out, and maybe here too. But that just could be his coloring too. This is a baby. They probably put age unknown because honestly I can't tell if this dog is like 6 months old or 2 years old. Aw, Leela. She's cute. I love big blocky heads. Cuties. Cuties is a boy. You're like, you got the funny teeth. I love goofy looking dogs. Cuties. He looks very young. If I see him, I'll say hi to him and see what's up with his temperament, but I'm not really thinking he's a senior. Bobcat. Bobcat's a cute little hound dog. Lab and retriever mix. Oh, he's with rescue partners. As of today? As of tomorrow, he's getting pulled to a rescue. He looks quite young. Chunk. Oh, he did a baby. I guess age unknown aligns to puppy food. Puppyhood. What are words? I love the underbite. Baby has an underbite. It's just less pronounced anymore because it's like a little baby Chauncey. It's less pronounced because she has barely any teeth anymore. Roma. And Lucille. Lucille has been adopted. Rex! He looks like an old man, but I think it's just his coloring. They say he's 4. I think it is his coloring. Oh, he got a boople nose. He has pretty eyes. That's what the dog that visited me earlier looked like. Turned out to be my neighbor's dog, thankfully, but made friends with a husky earlier. Mystery. Oh, look at that ear. I love her face. Oh my goodness. She's hilarious. I love her. Her face is so cute. Hard hat. He looks very muscular and not grayed out at all. I think he's younger. He's cute. Oh, you need a haircut, friend. And sometimes they do have dogs other than pits. I've seen a small fluffy and a husky. A couple of hound dogs. Oh, Gabby, why aren't you a boy? You're the perfect age. She's so cute. I'm gonna write her down to look for her, just because I won't be looking for female dogs. Naturally, I'll be looking for male dogs. But I want to stop by her kennel if I can, and maybe her paper will say that she's good with cats. Because if that's confirmed, then that would be okay. Is your dog being a girl the reason your cat minimally tolerates her at best? No, it has nothing to do with that. There's a drug that you can use for only male altered dogs, so male neutered dogs, that helps them stay calm and reduces aggressive tendencies. And that is my back pocket tool in case I ever run into issues with the dogs and the cats. Like I've had cat aggressive dogs before. I know how to do the training aspect of it, but sometimes the mental health needs a little bit of help. But you can't do that shot for female dogs, only male dogs, which is why I'm very set on a senior male dog. We will probably only have male dogs for the rest of my life, just to make sure that the cats are always safe. But if Gabby has been cat tested, she would be a good contender. But that would depend on how Pippi would get along with her. Pippi doesn't always Like, she's never been mean to another dog, but she's not always the happiest with a girl dog. We'll see. I'm curious what her paper says about other animals. Aww. They just play together. That's how my big Dane mix is. He likes to bounce around the house, like, with the kitties, but will never go into, like, full contact with them. Aww, you're so pretty. You got adopted. Ham. Ham is cute as fuck, but he's young. Excuse me. He's a year old. Oh, he's been adopted! He's cute as fuck. It's awesome. Axel. He's young. Mojo. Mojo Jojo. He kind of looks like Mojo Jojo. It's the eyes. He could be older, or it's just his coloring. It's hard to tell with the brindle, but he doesn't look very extremely muscular. Mojo. A307498. Martina. She's a cute girl. Saturday. Got adopted. Aww. Did she get adopted on Saturday? I think so. I think the 21st was Saturday. That was their event. Yep, Saturday got adopted on a Saturday. That's awesome. Lollipop. Lollipop, lollipop, ooh, lollipop, lollipop. Will I see you at conventions this year, Nocturne? Squiggy! Squiggy looks young. Oh, they're the rescue partners. As of February 2nd? Royce. I was wondering if Royce was brought in with Aston Martin, but no. These are the rescue partner as of February 3rd. He's a cute little gentleman. Nummy. Aww. Cosmo. Cosmo just looks like that other dog. Oh, you got adopted too. Awesome. Wilmot. Wilmot. He looks young. His teeth are really white. He got pulled by a rescue partner, it looks like. Good boy. And Rhoda. Menna. Hollywood. Hollywood is cute. He looks young. He's very muscular, no gray. I mean, some dogs don't gray out, but you do lose muscle mass as you get older. He doesn't even look fully grown into himself. His feet are big. Royce is what you name a boy if you had a kid. Cersei. Korai? Oh, she looks just like Loconut. Oh, she looks just like my Loki. Actually, I think she's in my tag pictures. Because she got featured on Mitsubishi's car page. That should be the easy way to find her. No, did I take it down? I might have untagged it. Dang. Oh, sometimes. I mean, that was like 10 years ago, so I don't blame them for that. They used to run like a quarterly hashtag Mitsubishi Pets, and I submitted her 1 year with my car, and it was so cute. Where's a good one of her face? She was my crazy dog. No, that's too early on. Oh, I do have pictures of Loki in here. Come on now. Don't goof me like that. If the video wants to load. Has the same stripe up her face. I don't even know what this is a video of. Burgers! Baby got a burger! Same face, just different ears. She's pretty. Jessie! You know I wish I knew Jessie's girl. His age could go either way. Slavka, the answer is no. Goofy goober. A307607. He looks like he could be a little older. Oh, Puddin'. Puddin' got pulled by a rescue partner. That's awesome. Jiggly or Giggly? What do we think she is? She looks like a Jiggly, but her name makes me giggly. She's really cute. Shadowbox! You're too young, but you sure are cute. Where are your ears? Well, they're just back. I thought maybe he didn't have his ears or something. I don't know. He looks very scared and nervous. Poor guy. Slavka, stop breaking in. Stop. 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 We're doing doggy Tinder. You're not looking for a big man. She's like, I want to know my new puppy, Papa. It didn't even look like they were cropped. Honestly, it looked like someone had cut them off, but he just has them pinned back out of anxiety. But some people do terrible things, unfortunately. Torin. He's really handsome. Leva. William. He has one of those faces, like, he's a wise old soul, whether he's young or old. William. He looks like a William. He looks like a people, somehow. He has this wide, stoic face. Kind of looks like a lion, honestly. Not even just the coloring, his face structure. William. A307673. Petro is 5. I mean, I have my list, but I'm gonna walk up and down the aisles and say hi to everyone. Oh, I thought that said 10 years old. I was gonna say, perfect! There's our boy! He's 10 months old. Grayson, why are you so young? You got that old man look. You're really cute. Aww, he's adorable. I remember this isn't up to me. Kilroy. He doesn't look very old. It's hard to tell from the quality of their teeth, though. Lucia. Oh, she's 11, too. I'll look at her paper there and see if they say anything about good with cats. Because above all, I have to keep everyone safe here when introducing anyone else. She looks teachable. She does look very, like, intensely focused on who's taking the picture in terms of, like, what's the next command? She looks like a good learner. I have no problem adopting a female dog if they've already been exposed to cats and have been proven to do well with them. Like, dogs are naturally not mean to cats. It's just all about prey drive. That's what triggers it all. So if she's lived with cats before, then she's totally an option and a contender. Otherwise, we gotta stick with the boys, because the boys can just get an estrogen shot to feel girly. Aw, Slater. Toledo, he's 4. Little cutie. Slater. He might be older. He doesn't look very muscular. I think that's just his coloring. I don't think he's grayed out, but... Slater. He's a very cute boy. Karen! She looks like a Karen. I don't know what it is about. I think like the picture perspective of like the big head, little body. She looks like a Karen. She looks like she wants to talk to the manager. She really does look like she wants to speak to the manager. She even has like the little fancy paw going on, like, excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? It's respecting whoever's there first, kind of has owning vibes, so it takes a lot to get their way in. Kind of. I mean, they do kind of set up their own individual hierarchy, but I'm very lucky in the way that all of mine respect me as the top of the food chain. Niecy, she's pretty. Zay, he's a little baby. His cheek. He's got his lip stuck on one side. Oh, he got big jowls. I am the pack leader. Actually, my cat Charlie is the pack leader, but white boy, aw, you were found together. Poor buddies. They're so little. They're young. You probably can't tell if they're still puppies or mini pits. Stafford is 10 months old and has been adopted. Emery is 9 months old. Millicent is 9 months old. She's really pretty. It's oftentimes inbreeding that gives you the unique colored circles over the eyes. Like, you'll breed a grandfather with a granddaughter, and then you tend to get that coloring. Unfortunately. Pennsylvania. He's 4. He's very muscular. He's cute. Bentley! He has an old soul face, too, but he's about a year. Bentley. He's also got a boner. Dude, put that away for the camera. Mikasa. Mikasa is Sukasa. 7. She's a pretty girl. Toes. Toes has been adopted. Bismarck. Bismarck is 5. I'll say hi to him walking around. He's not going to go on the list, but he has the same face as Baka had. It's really pretty. He might just be underweight. He doesn't look very, very thick. Amore. Oh, she's a pretty girl. Pretty boy. Oops. Pretty boy. Little Sheppy. Amore. Luba. She's cute. Shadow. Aw, Shadow got reunited with his owners. Yay. That's why microchips are important. He does look very nervous and scared. He looks like he doesn't know how he got there. doesn't say an address, so I'm thinking he was an owner surrender, which is sad. If they're found, like, somewhere as a stray, it'll say the block that they were found on. If they don't have a microchip, then hopefully people looking for their dog that they don't have a microchip, they'll be able to see, like, the block where they were found and identify their dog if they can't buy the picture, which if you can't buy the picture, maybe you should look at your dog more, but he has very kind eyes. Aw. He's young. He's younger than I was thinking. I wonder what his temperament might be. Poor guy. He's pulling on my heartstrings a little bit. None of this is up to me. It's all up to Bippy, but I can write him down and stop and give him a couple extra cookies and say, it's not your fault, my friend. It's okay. Someone's gonna love you. He looks confused. Poor buddy. I do want to stop and say hi to him more too, but I don't have my hopes up because shepherds tend to be more prey driven. That would probably be the only dog that I would want that I would have like as a puppy or want to look for in puppy age at a rescue, like not through a breeder, just so I could get them used to the cats at a young age. Shadow, he got back home. Henrietta. I love when they pull out all the classic names. Carenza, she's a pretty girl. Heartlyn. Oh, I love the ears when they do this. I love it. It's my favorite. Princey. She's just a baby. Look at that stance. She'd be a great agility dog. Oh my goodness. She got them ears out. She's front and center paying attention to directions. She got the muscles. She would be a good agility or like a sport dog. Julieta. Aw. She looks like she just wants to curl up in your lap. Bama. Bama, you're a young man. You look a little worried, but you're very cute. But you're a young man. Maloney. He's a young man too. Kelly, she's a baby. Cortina. He's rough and ready, exactly. Just cool. Ash. He looks a lot like Home Fries. He looks a little bit grayed out. I think it might just be his coloring though, but he looks a little bit more gray around the muzzle. Now if we do end up naming PB Peekaboo, like Pikachu, Ash would be perfect for her. Malcolm! I love your face. Oh, he's a little brown butt. He's cute. So he was found as a stray and not chipped because it shows an address. Oh, he was pulled by rescue partners. Awesome. Arabesque. She's very cute. Lloyd is with an offside partner. Rasmus. He's stocky boy. He doesn't look very old. He has a lot of muscles. He looks like a deceptively little boy though. Oh, he's with rescue partners. He got pulled right before Valentine's Day. Cecilia. Oh, she got all the wrinkles. Look at those rolls. Look at that face. She's cute. She's really cute. Eloise. Oh. Oh, she got pulled by rescue. Good. Eloise. I love cane corsos. I will have one day. I was looking at a cane corso when I was adopting backup years ago. I ended up going with him instead, but the cane corso was, I think, like a year and a half old and female. And as much as I wanted to, I didn't think I was prepared to pull the trigger on that, and you have to be 100% sure when you're adopting. Like, you cannot... You're making a lifelong commitment. You need to be sure. She's cute. Ilar. Eugenie. Her little head. She's so cute. She's the rescue partners. It's awesome. Riviera. She looks older. She looks skinny. I wonder if she's both or one or the other. She might be a potential girl choice depending on what her papers say. Riviera. She's skinny, like you can see her spine sticking out back here, but her head looks a little sunken in from thinness too, but she looks great out in the muzzle. Flannery. Aw, he looks like he's waiting to be someone's running buddy. He's very cute. Caitlin. She's cute. Bride. Oh, she's a pretty girl. I wonder if, like, tan pits just go gray earlier than other ones. We've seen a couple of, like, 5-year-old pits that look more grayed out than I would think. We'd some shelters. She's so skinny, oh my god. Some shelters do tend to, like, go on the lower end of their guests because they want dogs to get adopted, but CACC is pretty on par for what they think the age is. Like, they could easily say, like, oh, she's 2 years old. They say age unknown. She's so skinny, mamas. Oh my god. Patek? He's a cute little stout boy. Aww. He was pulled by rescue partners in Valentine's Day. Django has been adopted. Oh, he's a handsome boy. He looks like he's got some mal in him. I don't think Lab and Shepherd mix. He looks a lot like Loki, and I think Loki was Pitt and Shepherd. Little Maltese friend, rescue pulled. Colin! He's muscular, but not like super bulky. He's with rescue partners. Cryday. He's a little 3-year-old. Avelina. Yeah, honestly, I could not tell you if it says age unknown. If this dog is like 6 months old or 2 years old. It's kind of like people, like the amount of fat you have on your body changes your facial appearance too. Aloe Vera, she's really cute. She's a little 4-year-old. Moira. Oh, she looks older. She has a grayed out muzzle. It's really planning on just going with boys, but if they say on their paper then they're good with kitties, then that kind of changes the game a little bit. She looks sussed out by the shelter experience, but... Oh, she's with rescue partners. As of February 15th, so she's not in the shelter anymore. Whoop. When they're pulled by a rescue, it's a no-kill rescue. So they have time to find their families then. A little poodle, but oh, he's cute. He's a cute little guy. Pibby generally doesn't vibe with smaller dogs. Like, she doesn't get upset with them. Oh, it was pulled by rescue. Yay. He looks like a senior version of Max from The Grinch. Jenna. She's really pretty. Beyonce. Priya. Oh, she's 7. She's older. She looks like she has a good amount of energy in her still. We'll stop by and say hi. Priya. She has a lot of gray in her muzzle, though. Looks like she was an owner surrender, so they probably have info about her if she gets along with other cats or other dogs and whatnot. Oyston. Aww. See, he doesn't look really senior at all, but they say he's 6. He looks worried. Oyston. He's a very handsome babe. Fionn, she's been adopted. Buttercup. Gabe. Oh, he looks a lot like Snoop, too. He's been pulled by rescue partners. Good stuff. He got that big goofy head. I love that tongue. Look at that tongue. It's giant. It's like as wide as his jaw. I think that's the biggest, widest dog tongue I've ever seen in my life. It's almost the full width of his big head jaw. It's got to be like at least as big as, like. He's so cute. Corey, aww. An off-site partner. Yay. Cameron. Pits and Chihuahuas are the 2 most common breeds in shelters. Rook. He's a little cutie. Aw, Draco got found by his people. Good stuff. Chad. He looks young. Oh, he's with rescue partners. Good shit. Tamsin. She's pretty. Oh, he doesn't even have a name. A little Maltese mix. Oh, he's with a rescue partner now. As of yesterday. Lars. Aww. Can't tell if he's grayed out at all because he's all white, but he doesn't look overly muscular. Does have the biggest ears I've ever seen. Yeah, 3 strips of bacon wide. He's with rescue partners. Rena. Would rhyme with Serena. She has gray in the oh, she doesn't have much muscle mass. She might be older. Deuce has been adopted. Paola? Paola? I don't know how to say that. She's cute though. She has eyes that like look like they're seeing through you. She sees into your soul. She knows the color of your aura. Skylin. She's really cute. An off-site partner. Oh, he's a cute little floofer. Tikka. Is there another dog named Masala? She's cute. She looks on the younger side, though. Tabby. Aww. It's been pulled by a rescue partner. Looks like she has an owie paw. Claybo. Oh, he's so silly looking. He has a little eye issue. Aww. He looks very young. He has, like, no gray going on there. Claybo. An off-site partner. All of these dogs need a haircut. I'm gonna give them all a haircut. Jack, he's with an off-site partner. Stockwell. He's cute. He's 6. We'll see when we're walking around. Bonnie. She's 13. She's just like no gray. It's amazing. It's just like teeth with genetics. Aw, she had an owie ear. She probably got an ear infection. Let's see. It looks like she was an owner surrender too, because there's not an address. They might have more info about her, like if she's good with cats. What was her name? Bonnie? Bonnie. Cowbell, 9 months old. He looks like he would be a cowbell. I don't know why, but he does. He has that look. Puck. He's a cute little guy. Apollo. They both look young. Tank. 9 months. He's just a baby. Wilbur! You are exactly what we've been looking for. If you are good with other doggos. He's 10 years old. The perfect man. I feel something in my heart, which means I'm going to be disappointed tomorrow if it doesn't work out with Wilbur. I think I love Wilbur. It doesn't mean anything to me because it's all about Pippi, but Wilbur! Wilbur! Oh, Wilbur! I would keep his name. I'm getting goosebumps. Who needs Tinder when you have this website? We're gonna circle Wilbur. Because he's 10. Aww. That's sad, though. There's no address with his thing, which means he was an owner surrender. Like, I don't judge for that. I mean, people do it for their own stupid reasons, or because they're losing their home, or aren't able to take care of them anymore. They're going into hospice or the hospital themselves. Like, there are completely valid reasons to surrender your dog. I'm not poo-pooing on that. It's just sad when they're that old and they get... It's sad no matter what, but it's sad when they're that old and they get surrendered. Like, I'm very fortunate that I have family and friends that would take care of my zoo if I had to go to the hospital for a month or even 6 months. They'd probably be really annoyed with me in that timeline. But I'm very lucky in that way. Not everyone has family or friends that are capable of taking on their animals in that way. Came in on February 17th, so he hasn't been there long, but oh, I love him. Is love at first sight. Oh, I'm sure. Whenever I go on road trips, I cry my eyes out the first night, even if I have the dogs with me because I miss the cats that much. And that's just a road trip. Like, it takes a lot of guts to be able to make the hard choices. And surrendering your dog when you can't take care of them is certainly a hard choice. I'll be there to see him at 12:30 tomorrow. They open at noon and they do adoptions up until 6 p.m. I think I'm going to beeline for Wilbur first. He's so far the most qualified candidate. Wilbur. I'm going to take a picture of him. He's perfect. He's 10 years old. I hope he works out too. He might not like other dogs though. You never know. It's all up to him and Pippi interacting. This one is not up to me. Pippi was very bonded with my dog that passed away on Valentine's Day, and she's heartbroken without him. So, not that we're trying to replace Chauncey at all, but she's used to having a buddy that snuggles with her all the time and is just in her vicinity and is calm. I have 2 younger dogs too, but they're bouncy everywhere. Like, that's not her vibe. I just feel so bad. Like, I'm catastrophizing, but in the back of my head, I'm like, is she gonna die from a broken heart because she's so old? Like, I want her to have everything that she wants in life. I love Wilbur. Wilbur is 10 years old. He's the perfect man. I love that. That's perfect man for my age range too. In people years, he would be 70. Lucius is googly-eyed. He's cute. Oh, he's with rescue partners. Heck yeah. Noodles! Noodles is a cute little sheppy. Reese. Like from Borderlands, he looks much younger. Ah. Not to actually date, but the kind of man that I enjoy being around. Bubba Gump. Oh, he's just a baby. He's 5 months old. Oh my goodness. He's just a baby. He got pulled by a rescue partner. I don't want to date anyone. And I don't actually want to date an older man, but conceptually, I love old men. Like, they're so approachable and sweet and adorable. Like, the difference of an interaction with, like, at the grocery store, you know, like, both being at the apple pile with a guy my age versus a guy what would be around my grandpa's age, sort of. It's a much more pleasant experience. Like, they're all cute and flirty and jokey, but it doesn't go anywhere and mean anything. And it's just adorable and sweet. I love old men. They're my preferred companion human. There must be a small dog rescue that's pulled all these little guys. And I wonder if they came from, like, a hoarding or a breeding situation. There's a bunch of them that are, like, little wire-haired, almost like poodle mixes. Aww. He got pulled by rescue partners. Good stuff. He looks scared. He's like, why'd they make me stand next to the mop bucket? I'm not cleaning here. Weeping Willow. Aw. That's a name to sucker you into adopting her if I ever saw one. And look at her picture. She looks like she's crying. She's so cute. She looks young. Or just very small. Gautier. He looks pretty young. He's a thick boy. He's with rescue partners. He has a beautiful face. Wally. Wally. He looks like a bit of an older gent. Wally. I like that it's Wally, not Wally. 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 It's fun to say. Ollie Wally. I mean, I wanted to work out with any of these dogs, but I wanted to work out the most with Wilbur. I need to stop, but I kind of have my heart set on that. Aw. It's with an off-site partner. Bitch and Frizzy. And Golden Retriever. Rockwell. You're a cute little 3-year-old. Pepita. Princeton. He got reunited with his people. Good. Bella. You got reunited with your people. Chai. Aw. 4 years old. She's skinny. That's a tiny rot. Wow. She's very thin. That sucks. Patches with an off-site partner. Bear. Oh, Bear is cute. Bear is skinny. He's back with his peoples. He's 5 years old. I shouldn't assume that, like, dogs are mistreated just because they're on the thin side. Like, there are medical issues that make them appear skinnier or larger. Ace Ventura. I feel like that is such a good husky name. Aww. She looks older. Oh, she's back home. She got reunited with her people. Do 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 do. This is the perfect name for a husky, Ace Ventura. Mildred. I like her name. Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you so fun. You so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Mickey. He looks pretty chill. He's pulled by rescue partners. Minnie. Miss Minnie. With an off-site partner. He's a funny-looking little guy. Cove. He's a young man. He got pulled by a rescue. He got claimed by his people. He has the face of a dog that said, I left the yard and I made a mistake. Please come get me. He got back to his people. He has just this face that says, I made a mistake. I messed up. Help me, guys. And Daisy's probably the one who got out with him and said, yeah, this was all my idea. Glow. Young little Havanese. Havanese dogs are so fun to groom in full coat. Got returned to their people. Bella got returned to her people. Good shit. No shoppy boy. Coco. Pulled by a rescue partner. Avery. Aww. She's so tiny. She's a mini pit. She is like the same size as the kennel. That's a small dog kennel, it looks like. Oh, smushy boy. He's with a rescue partner. True. What do we think about you, True? It looks younger based on the muscle mass. I got pulled by rescue partners. Good shit. A little pom-pom got pulled by rescue partners. Griffey, an off-site rescue partner. He has a funny little face. I like his face. Looks like he is on a cart for some medical reason. It's good that he got a rescue pull. It looks young, but like maybe a smaller mixed breed. Like a pit and something small mix. Oh, he was pulled by rescue partners. Oh, he looks like the perfect mix between Chauncey and Backup. Oh my god. He has a Chauncey face, even though it's different Chauncey coloring. Like the pattern. He was pulled by rescue partners. Yay. Aw, he looks young. It's very, very muscular. He's pulled by rescue partners. Nice. Oreo, he got back to his people. Baby got back to her people. She's like, I snuck out and I'll do it again. I did it once, I did it twice, I'll do it again. She has that face. Oh, that's why Wally, because there was a Wally. To a rescue partner. Mufasa got reunited with his people. He got pulled by a rescue partner. He's really cute. He looks on the older side, but he's muscular and I think just thin. I think it's just his body score and conditioning. Aww. Baby mama. I was gonna say it looks like she's in a foster home. Offside partner. She got a rescue pull. Princeton got adopted. Oh, good for you, Princeton. Got pulled by rescue partners yesterday. Yesterday, same thing. Eli, he been adopted. He's really pretty. He's a young man. 7. I feel like we already looked at a 7. He's big for a year and 9 months. He got a big head. He gonna be a big boy. They do have a lot of dogs. They're always full. Always. There is never a time when they are empty. Ever. Female cane corso. She looks skinny. She doesn't look very gray though. I know I won't miss her with my eyes though because I love cane corsos. I'll see what her info is. Yo Shih Tzu girly. Little sheppy girly. Oh, King is cute. He's back with his people. Good. Kyrol is back with her people. Primo got pulled by a rescue partner. That's amazing. So their capacity must be about 250 dogs because there's a handful of them that have been returned to owner or adopted or pulled by a rescue partner. But we're on about the last page of it, I think. So their capacity for dogs must be about 250 on the adoption floor at a time. A baby now, shaking a baby. Oh, you're just a little guy. Oh, you got pulled by rescue partners today. Or is planning to be pulled by rescue partners today. He's a cute little guy. She got pulled by a rescue partner. Trudy got pulled by a rescue partner. Shiloh got pulled by a rescue partner. Choco pulled by a rescue partner. Looks like they're lined up to get pulled by a rescue partner if they don't get adopted by tomorrow. He looks younger though, I don't see any gray. It looks like he's still grown into his feet. His big feet. King! A little elderly chihuahua. Oh, he got back to his people. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, they're so cute. Little babies. Little babies. They have so many amazing rescue partners that they work with. I think there's like 6 or 7 main ones. I think this is the first year that we've had like a significantly reduced euthanasia rate in their end of the year stats. The adoption rate stayed about the same, but the euthanasia rate went much further down than it usually does on a yearly basis because we have so many more rescue partners that are involved with CACC. For being in animal control, they really do try their best to give everyone the best chance that they can. Also, we went back to his peoples. Eucalyptus. She's a pretty girl. I love when huskies have the red eyes. Set to get pulled by a rescue partner the 26th. Doesn't look older, but it's hard to tell. Like, I feel like those dogs, you can't really tell their age and their face or anything, except, like, their body score. I can't see your face. I can't tell what you are, but you look a little bit muscular. I don't know. We'll see when we're walking around. Little girly poodle friend. Oh, excuse me. Little Maltese friend, aww. Set to get pulled by a rescue partner on the 27th. He's a cute little guy. Those dogs, it's hard to tell if they're older too, if they're not like colored. Bruno, he's really cute. His ears and his head stripe are like all the same little sploot. He looks like a happy guy. Aw, thank you. May just have a new friend for you guys to meet tomorrow evening. I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for chilling. Aw, little buddy. He looks young. He was found with a chipper tag. He's sent to be pulled by rescue partners. Cross fingers and paws for a Wilbur. Oh, Wilbur. Not playing favorites, but he caught my eye. Little friend. Oh, little smushy guy. He looks like a little mini pit. No, Dobie. Dobie. We have a rescue partner lined up for him. He doesn't look very old though. Dobies will generally gray out. Oh, there's 2. She's thicker than the male. I wonder if maybe she's pregnant. Or maybe she's just a thicker dog. There's a little Havanese. And that's everybody's. That's everybody's. What page was Wilbur on? Wilbur was right before Reese, I think. Yeah. Kind of really crossing fingers and paws for Wilbur. He's very cute. But we have a good long list of so many potential friends. We'll go through all of their little info pieces. Their little biographies on their kennels. And see who would be the best match. I really hope they would have time to do a meet and greet tomorrow. I would think so if I get there early enough. which means it's bedtime. It's bedtime. So I gotta be up on time to get the zoo all taken care of before we get up there. But Lord, he is so cute. I'm kind of really in love with him. He's, I think, the second oldest. There was a couple of the girls that were, I think, 10 or 11. I think Gabby was 11. Lucia was maybe 11 or 10. Oh, Wilbur, please be good with other dogs and cats. And Pippi in particular. I think I do love Wilbur. He's very cute. That was going to be our night tonight, Club Cult. Thank you for joining me for Doggy Tinder. And looking at all the cute pupper duppers. I shall report back tomorrow if Pippi finds a match made in heaven. A perfect little love friend. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your chats. Thank you for your support. And thank you for your company. Your time is very valuable. And please do not ever forget that. It is this finite thing that we only get so much of to do whatever we would like to with. And when you choose to spend it here, when you're able to spend it here, it's very meaningful. It's magical. It's wonderful. And I appreciate it. Thanks for chilling, John. Appreciate you joining me on the puppy love journey. Thank you guys all so very much. If you'd like to keep up with me offline, hop into Disky Boo. Otherwise, we got the fun stuff, the socials, some more fun stuff, the sketch for when I will see you Bebs next. Oh, tomorrow's Serena Day. It's Wednesday, so I won't see you guys, but I will post in Discord if we end up bringing a new little friend home. Then I'll miss you guys Thursday as well, because the boys are having their teeth cleaned, and they're going to be sleepy for it, and I want to monitor them and make sure they're A-okay coming out of all of it. So I'll see you Bebs again on Friday, but I will post in Discord if we find Pippi a little boyfriend. I'm rooting for Wilbur. I'm rooting for him. And thank you all for being a part of the Stream the Dreams project. It means the world to me. It's glorious, it's magical, it's amazing. And so are all of you. Do me one favor until you see Bebs next, and that is, remember that you are wonderful, amazing, kind, spectacular, wonderful, incredible, oh so gorgeous, and all the good things in the world. Take all of those compliments and put them in your, I actually do have pockets today, your back pocket, your side pocket, your cute little hoodie pocket, your little shirt pocket, floating in suspended animation, or wherever it needs to go. I forgot the bottom of the shirt was so low. Until I see you next, you sweet bubbos. 3 cheers for Friday torture night, my dears. And play some more Stoom. But I'll post in the Disky Boo if we find a new mans tomorrow. I'm on the search for a mans. A wonderful rest of your evening, my dear Club Cultians. Get some good eats, get some good sleeps, and make good choices. Don't do anything Voya or I wouldn't do. Which Voya makes many choices. So use your own discretion for that one. But thank you all for chilling. I appreciate it very much. And have a beautiful Serena Day tomorrow as well. We'll see you Bebs for the next one, and thank you again. Get some good eeps.